Hello, and welcome to Historic Entertainment, the video series that looks at books, movies, TV shows, and much, much more to see, are they historical? So today we're going to be looking at 300, so we're going to see how historical 300 really is.
We will use our superior fighting skills and the terrain of Greece herself to destroy them. We will march north to the coast. We will block the Persian coastal assault by rebuilding the Great Phocian Wall. And from there, we will funnel them into the mountain pass we call the Hot Gates. Now, in that narrow corridor, their numbers will count for nothing. Now, wave after wave of Persian attack will smash against Spartan shields. Xerxes' losses will be so great, his men so demoralized, he will have no choice but to abandon his campaign.
Okay, actually no, that wasn't actually the king. There was, the Greeks collectively together, and it wasn't an unnatural thing. They didn't build a wall, they, it was a natural barrier.
Well, I will make sure.
It is August, Leonidas. The full moon approaches.
The sacred and ancient festival. Sparta wages no war at the time of the Carneia.
Sparta will burn! Her men will die in arms, and her women and children will be slaves or worse.
No, the oracle did not say that at all. The oracle said that if Sparta was to, succeed in its endeavours, a king would have to die. But she did not say that they were not allowed fight. It was the Greeks in general who just decided to continue with the celebrations.
Is this all of them?
As you ordered. 300. All with born sons to carry on their name.
We are with you, sire! For Sparta! For freedom! To the death! He is your son. He is too young to have felt a woman's warmth.
I have others to replace him. Astenos is as brave and ready as any. No younger than we were the first time you stood next to me in battle.
You are a good friend. But a better captain, there is none.
My good king, the oracle has spoken.
The ephors have spoken. There must be no march.
It is the law, my lord. The Spartan army must not go to war.
Nor shall it. I've issued no such orders. I'm here, just taking a stroll, stretching my legs. These, 300 men are my personal bodyguard. Our army will stay in Sparta.
No, he gathered more than 300 people. Yes, he did have 300 of his personal kind of guards, but he also had others, like thousands of others, and they were actually kind of, they were the first kind of force. Everyone sort of agreed in the group to send out, Leonidas and his force to do that. So that's historically inaccurate.
Let me guess. You must be
Xerxes.
Come, Leonidas. Let us reason together. It would be a regrettable waste. It would be nothing short of madness for you, brave king, and your valiant troops to perish. All because of a simple misunderstanding. There is much our cultures could share.
Haven't you noticed? We've been sharing our culture with you all morning.
Yours is a fascinating tribe. Even now you are defiant. In the face of annihilation, in the presence of a god, it isn't wise to stand against me, Leonidas. Imagine what horrible fate awaits my enemies when I would gladly kill any of my own men for victory.
And I would die for any one of mine.
You Greeks take pride in your logic. I suggest you employ it. Consider the beautiful land you so vigorously defend. Picture it reduced to ash at my whim. Consider the fate of your women.
Clearly, you don't know our women. I might as well have marched them up here, judging by what I've seen. You have many slaves, Xerxes, but few warriors. It won't be long before they fear my spears more than your whips.
It's not the lash they fear. It is my divine power. But I am a generous god. I can make you rich beyond all measure. I will make a warlord of all Greece. You will carry my battle standard to the heart of Europa. Your Athenian rivals will kneel at your feet. If you will but kneel at mine.
You are generous, as you are divine, King of Kings. Such an offer only a madman would refuse. But the idea of kneeling, it's, you see, slaughtering all those men of yours has left a nasty crack in my leg, so kneeling will be hard for me.
There will be no glory in your sacrifice. I will erase even the memory of Sparta from the histories. Every piece of Greek parchment shall be burned. Every Greek historian and every scribe shall have their eyes put out and their tongues cut from their mouths. Why, uttering the very name of Sparta or Leonidas will be punishable by death. The world will never know you existed at all.
The world will know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many. And before this battle was over, that even a god king can bleed.
Okay, are they being racist or something? Because, that is just not how Persians in ancient Persia would have looked. Persians in ancient Persia are kind of famous for being, bearded and being, a lot kind of hairier than other personnel around ancient Greece. So he did not approach him and offer him wealth. The main point was that you'd offer the state, such as Sparta. You'd offer Sparta to be not destroyed by the Persian army. You wouldn't offer an individual person. You'd offer the state, and obviously the state would entail the king being given this, but that would also mean that Sparta would have to stop.
United! We are undone. Undone, I tell you. Destroyed.
Daxos, calm yourself.
A hunchback traitor has led Xerxes' immortals to the hidden goat path behind us. The forces you posted there were scattered without a fight. This battle is over, Leonidas.
Battle is over when I say it is over.
By morning, the immortals will surround us. The hot gates will fall.
Spartans! Prepare glory!
Glory? Have you gone mad? There is no glory to be had now. Only retreat, or surrender, or death.
Well, that's an easy choice for us, Arcadian. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
Go spread the word. Let every Greek assembled know the truth of this.
Let each among them search his own soul.
And while you're at it, search your own.
So yes, it is true that this is historically accurate in the sense that a traitor did, in fact, tell the Persians about the side way that would make the Persians capable of surrounding the Spartans and the other troops. Of course, as I've covered recently in this video, I think is that the Spartans weren't the only ones there. So in fact, it's not the Arcadians that are saying this, it's everyone in general. Secondly, the whole idea was not to win against the Persians. The Spartans were aware that they were not going to win. Everyone was aware they were not going to win. This was to stop the army from coming closer and closer to Greece at the speed it was doing. So they succeeded in the sense that they stopped them speed-wise. They forced them to fight them. So it's not really, that wouldn't have happened. They wouldn't have believed that they would have succeeded because the entire effort was not to succeed. And of course, then it wasn't just Arcadians who left. It was Spartans. It was a bunch of people. Only a few thousand were actually left afterwards. Spartans left, so Spartans do certainly retreat when they realise it's pointless not to. And in fact, if you look at it, you realise the people who were there were they knew even then that they were going to die, not only in general, if they didn't leave, but they knew that now, if you didn't leave then, that you would definitely die, because beforehand it was, you can't win. I mean, you could run away and you'd survive however long it took the Persians to come back up and reach you, but you survived till then. But this, they realised now, either leave or die, and that was the point. They had to stop them just a bit more. So they had a final fight.
Councilmen, I stand before you not only as your queen. I come to you as a mother. I come to you as a wife. I come to you as a Spartan woman. I come to you with great humility. I am not here to represent Leonidas. His actions speak louder than my words ever could. I am here for all those voices which cannot be heard, mothers, daughters, fathers, sons. 300 families that bleed for our rights and for the very principles this room was built upon. We are at war, gentlemen. We must send the entire Spartan army to aid our king in the preservation of not just ourselves, but of our children. Send the army for the preservation of liberty. Send it for justice. Send it for law and order. Send it for reason. But most importantly, send our army for hope.
Okay, so, no, that didn't happen either. The whole point of the Spartan Council was that they had decided to send the couple of thousand, once again, not 300, to fight the Persians, so they wouldn't be sending reinforcements because that would be pointless, because they had all the Greek city-states were going to collectively fight, not just Sparta, so obviously they were going to wait. Okay, so once again, no. They weren't inspired by the fighting of the Spartanians. The whole point was that they were celebrating. You could argue that they shouldn't have been celebrating while, you know, there was a massive threat. But they were still aware that once the celebrations were over, they would fight the Persians. The problem was the Persians weren't going to stop, so the Spartan group decided to volunteer to fight them while the rest of the Greeks would have celebrated in their celebrations. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure if the people who wrote the script put this in, but that is definitely not what Xerxes would look like at all. He's a Persian from ancient times, kind of famous for, being slightly, bearded and, not exactly like that at all. So there you go, 300. Not very historically accurate at all, and I'd simply say I give it pretty much, an F in historical accuracy. I'd say if you want to have a historicalness in any way, do not watch 300 because you will get the completely wrong message.